the news at 10. Do you know that as long as you are fit and healthy and between the ages of 16 and that is 18 and 65, you can donate blood to save others when they are in dire need of it? There are several blood donation centers spread across the public hospitals in Nigeria, but the number of people involved in voluntary blood donation leaves much to be desired. Tonight on our Focus on Health, our correspondent Mary Alala Yusuf takes you through the process and what you need to know before donating that life-saving liquid.
Blood is an important component of the human body, transporting life-giving oxygen to all the parts. Sometimes accidents and certain illnesses which result in blood loss make it necessary for one person to get blood from another in order to survive.
People that have been involved in accidents, that are bleeding, mothers that bleed during labor, people with diseases, chronic illnesses, acute illness that affects the blood, cancer patients, they need a lot of blood. There are some medications that causes the bone marrow not to produce blood. So those people need blood. Leukemias, anybody on chemotherapy, not just leukemias. People with breast cancer, they want chemotherapy, it affects their blood.
In low-income countries, children under the age of 5 receive 65% of blood transfusions, but blood donor culture is poor, at approximately 3.9 per 1,000 population, compared to the more enthusiastic 36.8 in high-income countries, as documented by the World Health Organization in 2014. Donors and the blood they would give are screened with sterile instruments to make sure the giver is healthy and the blood level is adequate, among other factors.
If the person is short of blood, doesn't meet the minimum levels of HB or PCV, the person is disqualified or deferred. Deferred meaning that we can come back later. In addition to the blood level, HB or PCV, we also screen for hepatitis B and HIV. If it's low at that point, you would advise the person, try and take more, might be iron tablets the person needs to boost the blood level. It might just be some multivitamins, what they call hematinics. It might be the diet, take more meat, you know what I'm saying? So these are things, these are advice you could give. And for those that are probably positive to HIV or hepatitis B, you will counsel them further that look, further testing has to be done.
Apart from a free medical examination and the satisfaction of helping someone, there are other benefits to being a blood donor.
It helps your bone marrow to work better because your bone marrow is put on this drive mode. The other thing is that we have a lot of iron in us that is not easily excreted. So when you donate blood, it helps regulate your iron level.
The World Health Organization standard is that blood donation should be voluntary and not remunerated.
The thing with regular donation is that once you've donated once, probably you go back to ask, what's my status, and you know your status, you are likely to keep donating because you know your status. I mean, if you screen once, you don't have HIV, you don't have hepatitis B, you are likely to keep safe social habits.
Hematologists say the need for voluntary donors is dire.
They also give the assurance that contrary to what some believe, women can donate blood as long as they are healthy and their blood levels are adequate. Mary Alala Yusuf, Channels Television News.
In view of the unfolding political scenario, media in Nigeria have been challenged to step up its role of agenda setting for political leaders. This is in addition to its traditional function of communicating right values and culture. These were the submissions of a panel of media executives at the 19th CVL Leader Without Title Colloquium in honor of Mr. Shingo Wigwe and Mr. Vincent Maduka in Lagos. Both honorees were both former Directors General at the Nigerian Television Authority. Our correspondent Olu Phillips reports.
These two men sure have so much in common. While in public service, both men once were Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, and that career was distinguished by high values and integrity. This colloquium is in honor of both men and what they stood for.
We have the good fortune of having two great nation builders who were never called governor or president today, and we are truly honored to have them with us.
It was a nostalgic evening as the two veterans took the back seat to listen to these media executives as they recall and extolled their formative stages under their watch.
With engineer, with Pastor Shingu and Engineer Maduka at the helm control at the times when they were there, it was so easy for you to fall in line and to follow and to have people that you look up to. And from there, everything flowed down. And we had to be above board. Even though we're working within a governmental organization now setting, we tried a lot of things.
What was that he was able to get the best out of anybody. And the people who worked there were the best broadcasters, the best news writers, the best engineers. You know, it was that ability to bring out the best in you to help you become what you should be. I owe my status today as an engineer to Engineer Maduka.
For me, I must confess that since they left NTA, it is like the Midas touch is going with them. One issue that the two Director General of NTA addressed very squarely when they were there was the issue of capacity building. It was during Engineer Vincent Maduka that the television college was established.
When discussions opened, the topic wasn't far-fetched, touching live street communication, perspective from engineering, content, and broadcasting.
Part of our problem is that the media itself is not together. There are too many diverging interests. They do not see themselves focused or dedicated to one proposition.
At least professionalism is very high. Yes. In channels. And this I deeply appreciate. In some media houses today, even though they don't pay salaries, but the owners are fabulously rich. So this values that we have to question.
One of the policies of Channels TV is that anybody who's been convicted and has not been cleared doesn't come on Channels. If it does, it's pulled. If by any reason there's a mistake and it gets on air, the person who allowed that image to go on air is queried.
In their response to comparing the past and present, this is what they had to say.
If we want elections to count, your votes to count, we must do something about it. The media. That's a lot of responsibility that is placed upon us.
The solution are somewhere is to have the intellect, the investigative mind, and the creativity to say, look, how do we solve this problem in Nigeria? But you have to define the problem.
Highlights of the evening was the presentation of recognition plaque and cake cutting for the icons as they were flagged by family members. These are truly leaders without titles. Olu Phillips, Channels Television News.
Welcome to Business News. I am Anne Nwawadu. The Wall Street Journal Frontiers Market Index ranks Nigeria as the most watched economy, has been described as a clarion call for the country to speed up on its economic diversification. The Chief Executive Officer of Financial Derivatives Company, Mr. Brismak Rewani, gives this description while commenting on the index. Mr. Rewani warns that being the most watched economy up top amongst 200 countries is a challenge for Nigeria to step up actions in surmounting its uncertainties. The index, which was created exclusively for WSJ Frontiers by Washington-based consultancy firm Frontier Strategy Group, also reveals the trend in corporate thinking by tracking the rate of change in corporate sentiment among FSG's clients. Nigeria comes ahead of Vietnam, Kenya, Argentina, Morocco, and Saudi Arabia.
Wall Street Journal is the most reputable business journal in the world. So there's no doubt about the credibility of the Wall Street Journal. But what you must understand is that there are three types of markets. There are advanced markets, emerging markets, and frontier markets. Frontier markets are the lowest. You graduate from frontier to emerging. So amongst frontier markets, 200 companies are watching markets for future and potential development. So it's not an immediate gain. It means that people are watching you for the possibility of taking a position in your market in the distant future. So it's interesting that Nigeria was the most watched. You can be most watched because of the potential. You can be most watched because the potential exists, but you haven't exploited it. The fact that you are the most watched doesn't mean that it's positive. They're watching it, hoping that if you overcome the uncertainty, if your currency has moved towards fair value, which is where it's going, if you resolve your political issues and have an entrenched democracy, if you strengthen your institutions, if you diversify your economy, this market is a market to be watched and to be invested in. Don't forget, O'Neill had made us one of the means, that is one of those 5 countries that have the potential of overtaking the BRICS in the not too distant future.
Well, the hospitality sector in the Nigerian economy appears to be thriving as stocks quoted in that segment continue to receive improved appetite from investors. Operators say the rebased GDP is the reason why some prices of stocks are doubling.
Increasing of Nigerian GDP, Nigeria become the largest economy in Africa. And being the largest economy in Africa is drawing attention of so many investors all over the world. And people are looking at Nigeria being the next investment destination. When we look at the way our GDP is growing, the forecast is higher than what we have for developed economies. So people are looking at Nigeria as an investment destination. And as a result of that, you are going to see many foreign investors, many people coming to Nigeria. And one of the industries that is going to benefit from this is actually hospitality business.
If you look at the hospitality in general, is a sector that is very strategic to the economy. It's a sector that kind of connects almost everybody. So for us, you come, you sleep, you transact, you network, you eat, you drink, your being, your entire care is in our hands.
That's it on Business News for tonight. Olumide will be back with the rest of the news at 10.
Graduates of the Nigerian Law School may no longer need a year to complete and obtain an LLM from the United Kingdom. This is because the PPP University in the UK is partnering with the Nigerian Law School to award an LLM in 3 months in areas like transnational criminal justice and comparative commercial law. Our correspondent, Aurelua Shonibare, reports.
The relationship between Nigeria and the United Kingdom can best be described as cordial. And here in Lagos, the affiliation is about to be further strengthened in the area of education. It's an introductory party where top British business and professional institution, BPP University, is offering graduates of the Nigerian Law School opportunities to expand their horizons in the field for 3 months.
We could then give an opportunity for graduates from the Nigerian Law School to come to London for a short period to study the remaining 90 credits. So the programme will work like this. It's open to any and all graduates from the Nigerian Law School. We credit their qualification at 90 credits, that's halfway towards the master's degree. So
qualities that are tested to by Justice Kudirat Kekereakun.
The BPP University has been at the forefront of many innovative approaches to legal education, including the short-term LLM top-up program. The program, in my view, is a very exciting addition to the existing avenues for enhancing the professional qualifications of professionals, of legal practitioners and other professionals in Nigeria.
The head of the Lagos campus of the Nigerian Law School sees the recognition of degrees attained in the country by BPP as gratifying.
I feel satisfied that the degree that we award in the law school is recognized outside of the shores of Nigeria, and it's to me that's the special thing, you know, because they will give some points to our degree, and that's as special as it is. Yes, I am.
Chris has some good news to share about the program.
I'm delighted to announce that we're offering 2 full-fee scholarships, which will be awarded through the Nigerian Law School. So they will select the candidates and make the awards, but we will give 2 full-fee scholarships to 2 Nigerian citizens to study the LLM program in London.
We're going to be reaching out to people who are already professionals, as well as continue to work with the Nigerian Law School in terms of getting the students who are at the law school at the moment. We'll also be reaching out across various media, both print, digital, as well as magazines as well, you know, just to get to the audience and get them to be part of this.
This partnership is a testament that the relationship between both countries can only wax stronger. Orolu Ashonibare, Channels Television News.
Still ahead on the news at 10, third and second tier teams knock out Chelsea and Manchester City from the English FA Cup. That's in sports news. Please stay with us.